Children, now we are going to start chapter 2 of business study class 11th, that is forms of business organization. So what is business? An organization in which business activities are carried out for earning purpose. Business activities or commercial activities we can say. Okay, there are some forms of business organizations. Which one business has to adopt? Let's see different forms of business organizations. So these forms can be categorized into private sector, public sector and joint sector. Okay. In private sector, those enterprises are included which are owned, managed and controlled by single individuals or group of individuals. The main objective of these enterprises is to earn profit. Say for example, Hindustan Unilever Limited, Nestle Company, Britannia Company, Tata Company, etc. Now public sector. In public sector, enterprises are owned, controlled and managed by central or state government. The main objective of these type of enterprises is service motive. Say for example, National Thermal Power Corporation, Oil and Natural Gas Corporation, Bharat Heavy Electricals Limited or HPCL, IOCL, etc. Next one is joint sector enterprises. These type of enterprises are owned, controlled and managed jointly by private individuals as well as government bodies. Generally, daily routine management is carried out by private individuals, whereas these are controlled and supervised by government authorities. Example, Indicate PVT Limited, Avantika Gas Limited, Indian Synthetic Rubber Limited, etc. Students, in this chapter, we will deal with different forms of private sectors. Public sectors and joint sectors will be studied in next chapter. Now see forms of private sector enterprises. So it includes sole proprietorship, joint Hindu family business, partnership, cooperative society and company. In this chapter, we will study these forms in details. So let's see first, that is sole proprietorship. It is a kind of business in which a single individual invest capital, manage and control the business activities and bear risk itself and take all the decisions for the business alone. See, this picture depicts that a single individual on business, no sharing profit and loss with anyone, single person invest capital. So that's why he has to bear unlimited liability and it can be conducted with very less formalities. So it is called one man control or one man army. Now see the features of sole proprietorship. So these are the features. Fine. So have a look on features. Single ownership, that means all capital is invested by a single individual from his own or through borrowed fund. Second one is individual risk bearing. Kindly correct the spelling of individual. It is INDVIDUAL. Individual risk bearing means if there would be a loss in the business, as business is full of risk and uncertainty, so all risk is borne by that single man only. If there is a profit, so all profit is owned by single individual only, because risk profit is the reward of risk. Now third one is no separate legal entity. So in the eye of law, business and the owner make no difference. That means business is recognized by its owner. Fourth one is freedom of operation. In sole proprietorship, it very less government regulation or very less legal formalities are required. Single individual is free to take all decisions, and in certain type of business only license is required. Next one is unlimited liability. The owner is personally liable to pay all the debts of the business if loss occur. So it is borne by his business assets. If business assets are insufficient, so he has to pay personally by his personal assets. Now one man control. Entire business activities are managed, controlled and supervised by the owner only. If he wish, he can employ any person to take help, but ultimately all decisions are taken by owner only. This type of enterprises are suitable for small size business only, because there are certain limitations, like only one man can invest capital and manage and operate all business affairs. So it has a limited scope. It is not suitable for large scale operations. Now formation and closure. It's very easy to start sole proprietorship and close, as well as to close these type of business, because there is very legal or no legal formalities are required for opening or closing of these type of business. Lastly, lack of business continuity. As it is owned, managed by single individual, so in case of death, insolvency or incapability of the single individual or owner, in case of business cannot be existed, so it comes to close. Now on the basis of these features and concept, let's study in detail the advantages of sole proprietorship from the book. I am just going to outline these. So easy to form and dissolve, as there is very less legal formalities, so it can be form and close anytime. Direct incentives means profit. Whatever profit is earned is owned by proprietor only. Now flexibility. Every decision is taken by proprietor itself, so anytime he can change its decision. No outsiders interference is required. Now sole beneficiary of profit, that means entire profit is taken by proprietor only. Personal touch, that means he is in touch with his customers and stakeholders personally. That's why direct contact with its stakeholders. Now secrecy. There is no chance of leaking any confidential information, so secrecy is maintained. Independent control. He is taking all decisions without the interference or pressure by outsiders. So control is totally independent. And we have seen in features that it is suitable for small scale operation, as only one individual invest capital, manage and control business affairs. So in small scale operations it is suitable. Now sense of accomplishment means it provide full personal satisfaction to the owner in working for himself. Now there are certain disadvantages of sole proprietorship too. Limited resources, as only one person invests capital and manage all resources, so there is a limitation of obtaining resources or acquiring resources. Unlimited liability, we have seen in features that all liability is borne by only single individuals. Now limited managerial skills, as every person has limited managerial skills and limited other skills. All persons are not all rounders, so a business is benefited by single person managerial skills only. Then limited scope of expansion, large scale operation, this type of business is not suitable. It is suitable for small scale operations. As you have seen around that grocery store or garment shops or general stores are run by single individuals in local area. That's why there is a limited scope for expansion of these kind of business. Now limited life of a business, as the debt, insolvency and capability of owner is directly affect the business, so it can be discontinued anytime. I hope you understood the concept very well. Now read from your book in detail.